Top 10 Romance Anime to Binge Watch. Anime is one of the most significant forms of storytelling. There are millions of people who love to spend countless hours watching anime. Romance anime is one such popular genre amongst anime fans. Anime is widely popular amongst people of various age groups. It's not that only teens or young adults watch anime. Many adults across the globe are a huge fan of anime. Anime is beautiful because it often brings out the pure emotions of the writers on the screen. And the best part is, a well-written story will find viewers connecting to it like it's their own. One often finds themselves lost while watching a great romance anime. Moreover, the characters in romantic anime are cute, and they often remind us of our actual values. Since we all live to love, anime that tells a love story often reminds us we are loved. In our quick world, we forget what we care for. Sometimes a great anime movie on the lines of romance is all that we need to watch. Couples find cute things to do together, and the best part is, some of these movies are so good that they can move a stubborn human to do something extraordinary. Number 1. Weathering with You. Written and directed by Makoto Shinkai, Weathering with You is one of those movies that will keep you hooked. The story revolves around a teenage love story. The boy is determined towards his life goals, and the girl has some special powers. The mix of real-life situations and the writer's imagination makes Weathering with You worth a watch. Like many anime characters, the characters in this movie will stay in fans' minds for a long time. In a very subtle manner, the director went on to explore the changing climatic conditions in Japan. The climatic conditions depicted in the movie might be a reality sooner than we think. The writer did his part in raising awareness about climate change with a well-written story. When it comes to great movies, graphics and visuals play an essential role to impress the audience in every possible way. The same is true for Weathering with You, and the graphics team did a decent job with the visuals and the graphics of the movie. The viewers will be lost in Shinkai's world as they proceed further in the movie. The movie as a whole is impressive. At no point it would feel as if the writer did extra for any character in the movie. Number 2. Your Lie in April. Your Lie in April is a series based on music and romance. One will learn so much about human emotions while watching this gem of anime. The storytelling is extraordinary throughout the series, and it keeps the viewers curious all the time. However, the start might feel slow, but we urge you to stick with the story, and you won't regret watching this one. The series revolves around a guy who is fond of playing the piano and a girl who found him cute. However, the movie ditches the cliches of a typical romantic musical story. The series delivers human emotions on the screen so that viewers are moved to do something great. The viewers would feel the characters are describing their own lives on the big screen. The series feels special for so many reasons, and great storytelling is one such reason not to miss it. The story is sad, tragic, and unbelievably motivational. The characters are different from what one may find in a traditional love story. The beauty of the plot will leave the viewers feeling sad and shocked. Not to give spoilers to you, but the fighting spirit and the incredible story of struggle in the series are phenomenal. Even if you're not fond of romantic stories, this series is still worth a watch. Why do we say so? Number 3. The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Released in 2006, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time is the anime we highly recommend you watch. The movie follows the theme of time travel, where the girl gains special powers to go back in time. Though a romantic story, the twist of time travel makes it appealing for many. The romance in the story is beautiful and doesn't feel like you're watching a story full of cliches. The superpowers of the girl make it surprisingly enjoyable. The characters were notable, and each of them will leave their mark in your brain. The chemistry of the main characters is adorable, and one would feel touched by their development in the movie. The girl uses her powers to her benefit, but she's unaware that her power isn't endless. Number 4. The Anthem of the Heart. Released in 2015, The Anthem of the Heart will take you on an emotional ride. The movie focuses on teaching people the importance of carefully using their words. It's romantic, sad, and unique for what it tries to convey to the people. The movie revolves around June and her talkative personality. Wicked things happen throughout the movie, but it all manages to connect with real-life scenarios, so all of it feels realistic and makes sense. The Anthem of the Heart is a romance anime that starts with the separation of June's family. The separation leads June to hate herself for hurting people with her words. Her childhood trauma wins over her and she begins fearing her own words. Eventually, June will become quiet for everyone because that's what seemed right to her for the greater good. June's headmaster decides to select some of the classmates for a musical event in some school functions, and the story connects with a few other characters. But before we continue with the top 10 romance anime to binge watch, subscribe to our channel Curious Atmosphere so that you don't miss out on any future updates. Number 5. The Garden of Words. The Garden of Words is a story about a boy who didn't enjoy his morning classes. Over time, the guy develops a habit of not attending his classes in the morning. Eventually, he ends up meeting a mystical woman who changes everything for him. Released in 2013, The Garden of Words is a romance anime that features some gorgeous visuals and a heartwarming story. The music of the movie stands out and doesn't feel odd. The story, on the other hand, is captivating and will make the viewers emotional. The characters in the movie are awe-inspiring, and they have lived up to the expectations of the viewers. The story develops on a modern plot where the relationship is shown very beautifully. The boy in the movie is shown as a strong character who takes up new challenges in a great spirit. Number 6. Kokoro Connect. Released in 2012, Kokoro Connect is written by Sadanatsu Anda. The writer blends his imagination with high school romance to make an epic story that is emotional and different. Kokoro Connect has everything from an excellent storyline to great graphics, fantastic sound, and impressive characters. The high school romance in Kokoro Connect is different than what one would find in an ordinary romantic movie. In Kokoro Connect, the characters develop a phenomenon where they no longer can control their body, and that's where the story begins to get crazy and super exciting. Some viewers might feel that the story begins slowly, but eventually it'll feel good on the screen. Number 7. Orange. Orange is a pretty decent romance anime where the female lead is set to fall in love with a fellow student. However, it's not that simple and straightforward. The female lead, Naho Takamiya, gets a letter from her older and wiser self that warns her about the student she's about to fall for. The story gets relatable because it's true that most of us have some regrets, and this one tries to teach us more about trusting again. One would feel Orange wouldn't make them cry, but think again. This story hits differently when you've had trust issues or some regrets with regards to love. It's great to see something unique and exciting in a romantic movie where everything is dramatic and has some tremendous fictional aspects. Orange shows human relationships and their importance in our life. Number 8. 5 centimeters per second. Yet another work of Makoto Shinkai. 5 centimeters per second manages to win the fans' hearts with an epic storyline. The story rightfully revolves around love and human life. Undoubtedly, the story will make you watch the movie again and again. The movie explores various highs and lows in human relations, and it does pretty well. Those who have known the pain of separation will be able to connect with this movie on a different level. It feels real, and it appears as the writer wrote it just for you. 5 centimeters per second is packed with great sounds, graphics, and it also has decent characters. The twists and turns are well written, and it flows smoothly. The story won't make the viewers realize if it's flowing slowly because it's not. Number 9. His and Her Circumstances. His and Her Circumstances is a story of a scholar boy and a girl he falls in love with. The story has its highs and lows that make it appealing to the audience. It's more of a romantic drama that depicts how life may turn the tables for a struggling boy. The female lead in the movie has a strong character, and she's impressive in every regard. Yukino is into athletics, and she's generous, helpful, and competitive in her academics. However, in her space at home, she's completely different. Number 10. Kimi ni Todoke, From Me to You. Kimi ni Todoke, From Me to You is another recommendation that we have for you. The main lead, Sawako, she's unable to make friends. Most of her classmates are scared of her. It's not that she looks evil or her personality is terrible. Maybe people have this perception of her and she struggles with friendship. However, things do change when she encounters Kazuhaya. Based on what we think is worthy. If you have more to share with us, share them in the comments below and wait for our interesting topics coming soon. If you think they deserve to be on this list, share your opinion in the comments below.